If you're going on a date this week, here are a few things that you could talk about. Welcome back to my new show, If You're Going on a Date This Week, where I talk about everything that's going on in the world so that you never run out of things to say on your date. This is basically a show to give you a rundown of everything that's going on in pop culture, in movies, in music, in TV, in culture, in the world, and in mostly unserious stuff. Like this show is really for everything that's not that serious, because there's so much serious stuff that like that's not the point of this. And if you're going on a date, you're not going to talk about anything like that serious, especially like a first date, second date, third date. The point of those dates is just to get to know somebody, see if you like their vibe, see if you want to hang out with them again, not to get into like who'd you vote for. Like, no, you're never going to get into that, and that's not the point of a first date, second date, third date, fourth date, whatever. Later in life, you can do that, and you can also talk about these conversation topics with coworkers, with friends, with your family, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, whoever you want. It's really for everybody. It's framed around going on a first date or going on a second date, because I think that's one of the hardest parts of dating, is knowing what to talk about and worrying if you're going to run out of things to say. So you can always take one of these topics and parlay them into like a ton of different conversations. If I talk about a movie or a TV show, you can be like, hey, I heard that there's this trailer coming out, or I saw that there's this movie coming out, or I saw that there's a TV show, or this music, or this blah, blah, blah. And you can talk about TV shows and concerts and movies and like things that they like, and that use it as a way to get to know them better. I feel like these topics are great things to talk about if you're going on a date, or if you don't know what to talk about on the date. And it's also a like peek into the other side, or of what the other person might be watching or listening to or thinking about, so that you stay up to date. And if you're looking to stay up to date in pop culture, in culture in general, I think this is a good way to do it. I think this is like the perfect show for you to tune into and listen to if that's what you're looking for, because that's what I will always provide every Monday and every Thursday. So, if you're going on a date this week, here are a few things that you could talk about. Let me get my list up. Here is the list. I make a list, if you don't know, and then I just go through like a bunch of different stories. And then you can also look in the timestamps, by the way. Like, everything is linked below, and you can skip around, listen to what stories you like. You can also just like look at the list and be like, oh, okay, there's what's going on, and just like not listen to me at all. But like, that would take the fun out of all this, and I think you want to listen because like that's fun. The first one is the Artemis II mission that's going on right now. There are people who went to the moon. I mean, astronauts who went to the moon. And it's the first time we went to the moon in like 50 years. And it's really just like collectively bringing everybody together. Like, it's the first time that everybody's taking in this moment together. The astronauts have all kind of become these like figures of inspiration and aspiration, and it's kind of become this realization that like life is really short and the world is so big, and we're just these specks of dust walking around, and our problems aren't that big, and everything that we're thinking about and worrying about it's just not that important. And I actually feel like this is such a good topic to talk about on a date and be like, have you been keeping up with the Artemis mission? Because it's so fucking awesome. Like, all the pictures of the moon and just all like the random like needle drops of inspiration these people have been giving. Like, every time they're asked a question from base camp or from like control center at NASA, they come out with these like unbelievably eloquent like statements about life and about our purpose and the meaning of life. Like, I'm telling you, every single time they talk, it's like, who the fuck are these people? Like, how did they find these people? And why are they all poets and like Socrates and fucking Plato in space right now? Like, I want to have one of them on my other podcast, Guy Set. It probably won't happen because that would be insane. But like, that's a goal. I would love to have that guy Reed, who's the commander, on my podcast, Guy Sets. If anybody listening knows him, yeah, just let me know. You know where to find me. My email's josh@guyset.com. You could DM me. There's lots of ways to find me. So if anybody knows Reed, the commander of the Artemis II, when he gets back to Earth, I'd love to talk to him and interview him about his experience. I'm telling you, this guy is so wise. Like, all four of them are so wise. It's the first lady. Actually, it's not the first lady in space, but she's like one of the first ladies at the moon. Something about... I'm just going to go on to the next one. The next one is that Coachella is this weekend. Just the first one, let me just like, I feel like I should have just gone back and fact-checked my thing about the woman in space, because I feel like it's a big deal. Hold on. Woman in space. I can't be able to Google. More than 80 women have flown in space. Okay. Meet astronaut Christina Koch. there's something about History Made. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Christina Koch aboard Artemis II becomes the farthest any woman has traveled from Earth. So that is the big statistic and like the big historical, the big thing going on. So you can be like, I saw that Christina Koch is the first woman who has now flown the farthest from Earth, and she'll be like, wow, you care. The next one is that Coachella is this weekend and next weekend. Coachella is 2 weekends. It's this festival that happens in Indio, California every year. And it kind of is like the biggest festival. Like this is one of the biggest ones I feel like everybody talks about. Everybody's kind of watching. They live stream it on YouTube. You can watch. The headliners this year are Sabrina Carpenter on Friday, Justin Bieber on Saturday, and Karol G on Sunday. And they do 2 weekends. So they are the headliners for both weekends. The lineups are all announced. Let's look at the lineup. Let me see if there's anybody else of notoriety in my mind. I'm sure like everybody has their own people that they love. So if I don't mention your person, that doesn't mean I don't love them too. I'm just going to look at, and it's always like formatted kind of funny. Okay, so it's Sabrina Carpenter. Why can't I see this? Sabrina Carpenter. She's going to fucking kill it. Like, I feel like everything has been leading up to this for Sabrina Carpenter. She is at such a peak of her career right now. I saw these performances of her performing in, I think it was Argentina and in Chile. And Chile, I feel like I said that kind of funny. She has the greatest stage presence right now. Like, she is so energetic. She's so magnetic. Every time she performs, you can't help but watch everything she does. Like, you just kind of can't take your eyes off of her. And I feel like Coachella, which is like one of the biggest stages in the world, is the perfect place for her right now. Like, the fact that she is up there with the ranks of Justin Bieber, like Lady Gaga did it last year, like it's always just like the biggest stars right now. The fact that she has that slot and is like 26 years old is just really fucking impressive. I feel like next year we'll probably see like Olivia Rodrigo up there, and that will be awesome. But the fact that she has that big of an audience, a global draw, that like she can be a headliner for Coachella, just shows how talented she is, how unbelievably impressive her oh my God, I choked on it. Her rise has been, like her rise to fame over the past, I don't know, 3-4 years. And like, she has been working at this. I saw this TikTok like a year or so ago. She's been working at this for so long. Like, she started on Disney Channel. She launched or released 3, I keep saying launched instead of released, 3 albums before her big short and sweet album, which was like, that's the Me Espresso. She launched 4 albums before that. She's been 3 or 4 albums, maybe 2. She's been working at this really for a really long time, and just like has not given up on herself and her dream. And it just goes to show that like talent rises, and she is a prime example of an extremely talented person and an extremely dedicated person, somebody that has not given up and will not give up, rising to the top. And I just kind of find it inspiring that she didn't find success until like the past 3 years, and she just really fucking never gave up at it. I'm still trying to find the Coachella lineup, by the way. That was just a very awesome segue, and I could just like talk about her for Sabrina Carpenter, the XX, 9 Inch Noise, Disclosure, Turnstile, Ethel Cain, Dijon, Teddy Swims, Cat's Eye. That's like the first line. Every line gets smaller and smaller. The next night, I'm just gonna read the first lines because it's too much. The next night is Justin Bieber, and then it's The Strokes, Giveon, Addison Rae. Holy shit, Addison Rae. Go Addison Rae. She's also one of those people that just like won't fucking give up. I really respect it. Labyrinth, Somber, How Can We Go Back to Being Friends. I think Somber's also awesome. I feel like he has taken on like I feel like he was somebody tried to cancel him like last year. Like there was this girl who like was like, I went to his concert and it fucking sucked, and like came at him so aggressively. She blew up and like kind of got famous out of it, and I haven't seen her since. I don't know where she is. Obviously you know who Somber is still. He's hugging Taylor Swift at every award show. Like he sat next to Taylor Swift at the iHeartRadio Awards. Like when every time he won an award, they would hug. Like he's fucking friends with Taylor Swift. Where's that girl? I don't know. But she came at him and was like, his concert was for tweenie boppers. Like the whole time he was like 6'7", like I don't know if he knows who he is yet, or if he's still like working on discovering who he is as an artist and all that stuff. But like, I just feel like somebody that goes on TikTok to shit on somebody's performance is so annoying. And it's just like, what do you get out of that? Like, of course, we all have our right to get on TikTok and complain about whatever the fuck we want. I mean, I went on today and complained about the girl who's suing Taylor Swift, because I think it's the most insane thing in the world, for The Life of a Showgirl, because she has an album called like The Life of Singing or something like that. It's nuts that that's happening. I don't know. I feel like Somber has really like pushed through all of that noise in a very solid way. Another one that I'm following, and I think his music is really great as well. So after Somber, it's David Byrne, Interpol, Alex G, and Sway Lee. And then the next night is Carol G, and then she's following Young Thug, Cascade, Big Bang, Laufey, I think it's pronounced Laufey, Laufey. Major Lazer, Iggy Pop, FKA Twigs, Wet Leg, and Clips. A lot of people are performing at Coachella. It's like a whole 3-day thing. I mean, I would love to go. Honestly, I think it would be so much fun. It's so much effort getting there. And I feel like every year on TikTok as well, I always say, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm already at 11 minutes. I need to pick this up. I usually try and keep these episodes like 15 to 20 minutes so you can listen to them either on your way to the date or like before the date, getting ready, like sometime like that, just like in the day to get your pop culture fix or just an update on what's going on in the world. And I seem to be rambling a lot today, so sorry about that. I have a lot on my mind. And yeah, it's every time Coachella happens, like I always see on my TikTok, like, here's how hellish it is to like get through Coachella, and you're like, you have to like wait in lines to shower, and you sleep in your car and in tents, and like, unless you're Alex Earle and like getting flown out there and getting put in like a guest house or something, which is like a branded house, they like put you up, and you have to, or like Poppy did it for her last year, like they had like a whole Poppy, Poppi, like the soda brand, had like a whole house for her and her friends. Unless you're doing Coachella that way, like I feel like the experience is just like overall kind of nutty, and you're just like waiting in lines to shit and shower, and like oof, it just seems like a lot. So I don't know, maybe I'll go next year. The next story is that Euphoria Season 3 is premiering on Sunday, which is so insane. It's been like 4 years since the last season. I watched Season 2 in college. I am now 4 years out of college. We all watched together. That show is so anxiety-inducing. Like, every time I watch an episode, I'm just like, oh, fuck, I need to watch, like, Shrinking or something, like Young Sheldon, honestly. Every time after I watch Euphoria, I need to watch Young Sheldon to, like, chill out, because it's so anxiety inducing and like, oh my God, what's happening? And I need someone to be like, actually, the square root of, and I love Young Sheldon, so I feel like he's the person to go to when you're anxious, or like a friend, like, you know what I mean? So Season 3 premiere Sunday, I will absolutely be watching. I can't not watch. Like, I've already committed 2 seasons to this show, and it's so crazy that like everybody from this show has gone on to have such big careers now. Like, they are all some of the most relevant people, like celebrity-wise. Like, you have fucking Zendaya, who's in the biggest movies of the year. I went on a whole rant about her in the last episode, about how she is in the biggest movies of the year. Dune 3, Spider-Man, The Drama, The Odyssey. Like, she's just fucking killing it. You have Jacob Elordi, who was just in Wuthering Heights, which is probably also one of the biggest movies of the year this year. You have Sydney Sweeney, who's always making news. Like, every time she walks or like just turns her head, like there are stories and people criticizing her. So she's always making news. You just have like really main players in Hollywood going back to this show, and it's just crazy that like it's probably most likely the final season. I think I saw Zendaya said it's the final season of the show. She went to the premiere and actually showed up for 3 minutes. She took her picture and then ran off. And I would too if I was Zendaya. Like, if I was in the biggest movies of the year, I would do whatever I wanted. I wouldn't like have to like hang out with these like people who I'm just like, it's you're Zendaya. You don't have to be at this thing. But she showed up, she looked amazing, and she left and like went home and took a shower and went to bed. Like, the next one is that Olivia Rodrigo has a new single called Drop Dead, and it is dropping next Friday ahead of her album. I think her album comes out on June 2nd. If You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. And then it was also announced that she is going to be the host and the musical guest on Saturday Night Live on May 2nd, which means that she is going to release a second new song before SNL, or maybe she'll premiere it on SNL, something like that. That would be really cool. I don't know if that's ever been done before. That would be awesome. But every time a musical guest comes on SNL, they sing 2 songs. And I really feel like she is one of the best people for a host and musical guest. Like Harry Styles most recently just did that job. I feel like Sabrina Carpenter would kill it at that. Ariana Grande is such a great host. I just feel like it takes a very certain type of person to be the host and the musical guest. And like, I feel like it probably most likely is going to be a pop star that does that. But also somebody that's just willing to like say fuck it and like do whatever to look crazy and be funny. And that's what it takes to be really great at SNL. And I feel like she has the chops to do it. So I'm really excited for that episode. It was also announced that Noah Khan is going to be a musical guest on SNL, and that's just really exciting as well. Matt Damon is hosting his episode. The next one is that Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber teamed up to launch Rhode's pimple patches. Rhode is Hailey Bieber's brand. It's worth like $1 billion. It's her skincare brand, and they launched a line of pimple patches. Yay. The next one is that Alex Earle is dating again. And the reason I bring this one up, I wouldn't bring this one up usually, but the reason I bring this one up is because she just went on her TikTok and did a story time of the date, and it was seriously one of the craziest first dates I've ever heard. And all of the comments are like, Alex, like, this is crazy for like our standards, like us plebeians, like this is nuts for us. The guy picked her up at 3 p.m. They get in the car and he's like, I have dinner planned for us. It's at 7:30 tonight. And she was like, what the fuck are we going to do for 4.5 hours? Like what? And she was honestly really nice about the whole thing. Like I kind of wish she went in on him a little bit more, because I'm assuming he's somebody that's like very famous, either like an athlete or an actor, somebody that's pretty A-list. Swiped up and swiped into her DMs and asked her on this date. And like, she's not going to say yes to just like me. She's not going to say yes to just like anybody, you know? So obviously this person has some sort of notoriety to take Alex Earle on a date, and he planned the worst date. So it should give hope to every single guy that like you are planning better dates than somebody that's pretty famous and successful. He was like vaping the whole time in the car. At one point, she said he wasn't asking any questions, so she just kept asking questions, and he said to her, you ask a lot of questions. Like, that is 101 of what never the fuck to do on a first date. And then he just started driving for a while, and she's like, where are we going? And he's like, oh, no, we're like just driving. And she's like, I'm going to get kidnapped right now. And it can't get much worse on a first date than a girl thinking you were going to kidnap her. Like, that is literally the worst possible scenario and a thought for a girl to have on a first date. Like, woof. So if you have anxiety or have thought that you've gone on a bad date or taken a girl on a bad date, go watch that video that Alex Earle just posted about her first date experience. I guarantee it'll make you feel better about yours, because it can't have been worse than that. It can't have been much worse than that, seriously. So Alex Earle's dating again. And then I'm going to pick one or two more because we're at time. I mean, guys, I can go over. There's no rules. There's no restrictions here. I could go up until however long I wanted, but I do want to keep it bite-sized. So there is a new spinoff show of Summer House coming out called In the City that follows the older people of Summer House, and older meaning like 35. Like, these people can't, and 40. Like, Kyle Cook, who's the main guy on Summer House, is like literally 42 years old. You can't keep going to the Hamptons and like partying. I guess that's why you got divorced. So I guess you can keep going to the Hamptons and partying. Who's to stop you? Nothing to stop him. So there's now a new show called In the City coming out back on Bravo. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out soon. It's a sequel to Devil Wears Prada 1, obviously. And Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway are kind of parading around promoting it. And the Sabrina Carpenter had dropped a music video for... No, I think I talked about that last time. Anyway, I'm just every week I'll talk about Sabrina Carpenter's house tour video because it's crazy in the best possible way. Yeah, I think that's it. I feel like those are the things that you could talk about on your date this week. Just to give it like a quick little recap, because a lot happened in this episode. I went on a couple different rants, and that's what you can expect here. You can hope for. So to recap what you could talk about on the date, the Artemis II mission that's going to the moon. I think they're behind the moon right now, and it's the first time ever that NASA can't actually, I guess I'm back to this, can't actually speak to the people in space, because once you're behind the moon, you have no connection, and that's pretty fucking cool. So I feel like that's a good one to talk about. Coachella this weekend, the lineups, music festivals in general, Euphoria season 3, the SNL lineup, Olivia Rodrigo's new single, and the hosting, and Noah Khan, and Summer House, and Devil Wears Prada, and Sabrina Carpenter's house tour music video. So those are things you can talk about on your date. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. If you like this episode, please give this 5 stars and leave a review. Subscribe so you never miss another episode every Monday and Thursday. You can watch this full episode on YouTube at Guyset, Guyset. It's under the same channel as my second podcast called Guyset, and that is to answer the questions that guys are asking and give advice on everything that guys are wondering about, thinking about, and should be talked about for guys. So this is like an extension of it, and it's just like a second podcast under the branding of Guyset. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on Monday. Have fun on your date. Bye.